Tonight we've got a nice little doubleheader of some NECC play. My name is Nutty Monkey Shines. I am actually on the clock with my good buddy Monkey Shines, who, no face cam, so it's just me. That's all you get to see tonight. I don't know about you. I'm not complaining about it, but I am glad, though, regardless, that I do have my main man Monkey Shines on the mic with me. How you doing tonight, brother?
I am very excited, not only because of what we get to cast tonight, but the fact that I am not on camera and I'm not going to curse the people out there who we all adore, but the fact that, yeah, we don't want that, quite frankly. We want you guys to be here to watch Warrior Rocket League. So no, we are not going to do that. But again, always a great opportunity to cast with you, and always a great opportunity to cast this team. I mean, they have been popping up. Just about doesn't matter where they are. They've been on the biggest of stages, and I cannot be more excited to be here to watch this team yet again.
I mean, you look at this squad, there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, you know, first semester in CRL, we've seen how the CRL landscape's gone. It's been up and down and up again. But still, this is a team that got, I believe, the 5th overall seed in NECC Division 1, trailing only, it's what, Fisher, Oklahoma Christian, or no, not OC, pardon me. It's Fisher, Akron, and then Northwood and St. Clair. Those are 4 teams that you're fine to be behind, especially Fisher, who has not dropped a set so far in the NACC. We have a collision course with them if we are able to win this St. Clair matchup, but all of that to be said, this is a very successful semester in the NACC, if you ask me at least.
I think it's been a very successful semester in general for Tech, honestly, no matter where they go. And as well, you were mentioning Fisher. I mean, they've gone out there and they played expertly well against them as well in mainstream action. I mean, dude, if you are this trio, this was something that we saw, I think, in fall. We saw a ton of potential, and I talked to a few people. I said, these guys got to take some lumps, they got to get some bumps and bruises, but they will respond so well. And that is really what we've seen here in the spring.
I agree. I think you look back at the fall, it definitely was a bit of an acclimation period for Resh and Velocity coming over from Europe. They're settled now. It's pretty clear to see they're settled. They have both been playing out of their minds. I know that we have seen Chippy on the NACC stage a lot, and by all means, give me more of that. I need it. But Velo, when he's playing, both in CRL, on lands, whatever it may be, he is moving. He's moving differently. We saw him in the fall. I'm not going to say he was passive, but he was more passive than he has been so far in the spring. He's been a little bit quieter, hasn't gotten super implemented off ball. But now in the spring, it's like a monster's been born. It's Frankenstein reviving off the table.
Well, the other thing that I like about what we've seen, that shift, of course, Velo, we know what he's capable of, able to come in clutch at so many moments, but we've seen a team that I feel is more synergetic. I'm going to make up words right now.
Yeah,
my point is, an individual is able to step up and be the hot hand, and it could be a different person on any given night. Extending to the super sub, thank you very much. I'm Chippy. I will mention that straight out the gate. But it's great to be able to see somebody step up. And it's not just, well, Reggie has to do this. Well, Velocity has to do this. Bluey, I have been so proud of that young Chippy as well. This is a truly a team that is truly firing on all cylinders. They all look comfortable, and that is dangerous for anybody they run across.
I mean, you even look back at the fall, it kind of was just the Reshiram show, and that's not even a diss to Velocity and Bluey. I believe I saw a statistics tweet. This was back in about January, so pardon me if this is incorrect. I believe Reshiram was 3rd in all of Division 1 or 2, wherever they were, in points per game in the NECC. He just had to do so much, and that's completely fine. And by all means, if you have a player of that caliber, just let him go on the ball and do whatever the hell he wants. But now that you've got the support, you can back him up, and then it's like a wall moving towards you. It's closing in, and it's scary.
It is. And like I said, to be able to go out there and have 3 other individuals that you could throw in next to Reshi, you can kind of mix and match and creating a whole bunch of different kinds of scenarios for the opposition to have to work with and plan for. But I gotta say, last time I had the opportunity to see Chippy out there, that guy was popping off. I mean, look every bit the starter. Want to see, of course, if that can continue on, you know, lightning striking twice, or maybe this is just the thing. But as far as Reshi, I always appreciate when he has the ability to go out and be creative and artiste, dare I say, on the pitch. I'm looking forward to see what he has here this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Bluey, Reshram, and Velocity taking on Jazzy, Vesh, and Zai. Zai, of course, an individual out there. 4 fellas got today number 4 in GSL alongside Jazzy and Andy. So individuals that we have seen a fair bit of. They have been oh so successful. Have those St. Clair boys.
Yeah, and for Indiana Tech, you're looking for a little bit of that RLCS success. It's not make or break for this team, obviously, but it's a nice little thing to have alongside your CRL results. Bluey going over into APAC and starting his split pretty soon, if they haven't already. Pardon me if I don't know the APAC schedule, but Velo on Southampton Academy making a day 3. Reshiram also making a day 3 with Spacebound Cowboys, but Indiana Tech doesn't really matter right now. St. Clair going to be able to strike first. Zai pops it over 1. Bluey no boost. Velocity getting hunted. And 46 seconds in, the deficit is 1.
Now, if you are not familiar with Indiana Tech Rocket League, ladies and gentlemen, it's a unique way to go about things. It is the false sense of security defense that they often employ, and this is when they concede that initial goal. Dare I say, maybe even an initial game, but it is about the long game, and not only with what Indiana Tech likes to provide, but it is a best of 7, ladies and gentlemen. It is a chess match, not simply checkers. And honestly, regardless of what happens here in game number 1, I think so often, Nutty, it is a filling out process. But truly, I think for Tech, it has been that way just about all semester long, regardless of where they're playing.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that as well. This is the first time we're seeing these best of 7s pop up in the league. CRL is coming relatively soon with their best of 7s. NECC will ramping it up. SEL, NEL, the best of 7s are coming as well. Indiana Tech, I don't believe, participating in NEL anymore, but they're participating so far in a game 1 beatdown from St. Clair. Gonna have to figure out how to turn the tides here.
Look at 3:26 left to go. Still tons of time, of course. And we know how quickly these boys can score. One of the benefits of being an Indiana Tech fan. Hashtag TechWe. Hashtag Tech out there in chat. By the way, sent away by Bluey. Nudge over in the corner, but of course Zai, an incredibly talented individual, incredibly creative individual. I talk about Reshram. Certainly Zai, that as well, set up by Jazzy. Ultimately not going to be able to follow, and St. Clair finding that synergy, finding that teamwork here in the early going. And there has been a moment before this Warrior team has sometimes been able to get into that next gear, but it doesn't take exceptionally long for it to happen.
Oh, I agree. I also wanted to pop back onto that that comment that we made about how, you know, sometimes we lose that game 1 and then you're able to, you know, weather the storm. That's echoed in the standings as well. Out of Group A, you know, Northwood, St. Clair, or pardon me, no, wrong group. Fisher, Akron, Indiana Tech, and Oklahoma Christian all qualifying for playoffs. Indiana Tech has the worst game differential at a +6, and it might be added on here. Zai finds his 3rd, but again, it's kind of an echoing where they're able to wrap it up and find those wins when it really matters. But those early game 1s, game 2s, they let slip sometimes.
Dare I say lethargy is the word that comes to mind there in the early going, but it's been anything but that for Zai, the Alpine assassin, making his presence known here in the early going. And that's something that when he is on the pitch, Nutty, you've got to be aware of where he is at any given time. His ability to hit shots from just about anywhere, it is absolutely absurd. Something that we will no doubt see over the course of this series. But right now for Tech, so critical to just get on the board to show that you do have humans on the opposite side of the pitch, that you are not playing bots, though it may feel like it, and ultimately that pitch not going to find back of the net, escorted away by Zai. Jazzy looking for the sand, going to be denied, however. And another thing that I fully appreciate, regardless of whom it might be, is having a 1v1 aficionado out there on the pitch. St. Clair having that in Jazzy.
I think you look back even at last fall when they won the CRL Fall Championship. Zai was the man, even with Arju, who's a fantastic player in his own right. It felt like Zai kind of took over in the championship. But Bluey here, taking over in game number 1, getting themselves on the board. Maybe a bit of a momentum swing. Still a lot of time, a lot of opportunities here. It's a great demo on the back line from Velo. Man, he's been doing it all semester.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know how I feel about bully ball. When it's time to win, when it's time to, bring down to brass tacks, you got to bring out the brass knuckles. And Indiana Tech able to get on the board again. Tons of time looking to adjust now. Looking, as I say, a little lethargic, like the snooze button may have been hit previously. But again, still needing some scores in a hurry. Hasn't been a problem for St. Clair in the early going. Got some comfort room to work with. Stretch the legs out a little bit. The nut pass and Velo. You said, my friend, it does not take very long. Machine gun offense and the serve up as well by Reshram. Soon will be the day, I hope, where the young man will be able to get the psycho that he has truly longed for as if a kid on Christmas morning.
Bit of a broken defense there as well from St. Clair. It felt like Vesh, as that third man, had to buy some more time for Zai to get back, which he was unable to do. That freeing up all the members of Indiana Tech. Speaking of psychos, no corner read afforded for Velocity, so Bluey dives in. Velo gets beat, so now Resh has to play careful here. He is Bluey, waiting on that right field wall to get the 100 boost. Infield pass to Velocity, able to get the reset, but he can only use that for a recovery. 50-50 puts Velo in an awkward spot, but of course that man's so poised, he never gets shook.
Zai looking to indeed show off what he's continued on. Has not gotten the hat trick just yet. Team hat trick, but certainly would adore one to quite possibly put a ribbon on this with 30 seconds left to go. And this one catch and carry by Velocity out and around. The bumpery is there here yet again. Look for the serve up. Ultimately, Jazzy Zai along the wall, kicked up over one. And the opportunities for Indiana Tech in this game number 1, they are dwindling. And Zai indeed tipping, if you got him, it is the hat trick for the St. Clair representation, the Alpine Assassin. Indeed, I do believe that he's putting a bow on game number 1.
Yeah, you can call it done and dusted unless we see some crazy kickoff play from Indiana Tech. Although I will say they are not necessarily well known for their kickoff plays, but they do have them in the back of their bag with Coach Stomber coming in. But this one goes awry. A ground pinch over to Jazzy. Doesn't link up. It's not going to matter. The remaining seconds tick off of this game number 1, and St. Clair finds their early advantage.
So an unfortunate end to game number 1, but if you want to take away any kind of silver lining, my guy, they did in fact go out there, did tech. They got on the board not once, but twice. They did find some synergy there, as I say. But again, Sai at the top of the charts, not just for St. Clair, but for either team. And look at the differential as well, looming large up there.
Zai was the only man on the field you really could watch and feel like it was an entertaining show. It felt a little bit, like you mentioned earlier, lethargic from our Warriors, Bluey, Resh, and Velo. They've got a little bit of time, though, in this best of 7. No timeouts, I believe, in NECC, which, no biggie. It happens. We're there. As the scoreboard is updated. But Monkey Shunks, I got one big question for you. What do we need to see out of these guys, really? Because St. Clair, obviously, even after Arju leaves, is still a mountain, a Goliath in the CRL scene. It's going to take a lot to tip that over.
It is, certainly. I think really in this moment, you shift from game 1 to game 2, memory of a goldfish. So an odd lopsided best of 6 kind of sort of when you think about it. But there were definitely moments there where Indiana Tech was able to shift back. It was one of those things where if you cut off a couple of minutes and give them a fresh couple, I think we might be talking in overtime. I know, weird math, weird timelines, working out. Call me Dr. Strange. At the end of the day, I saw a lot that Tech could work with. There were moments against St. Clair locking things down when it mattered most. However, go out there, you were able to get comfortable there. It is important, sir, to be able to score, I think, here early. I think within the first 30 to 60 seconds, I want to see Tech on the board. And if you can get it on there in 30 seconds, most certainly. And I know that seems all, oh yeah, you want them to score. Yes, you do. But this is a team that needs to get momentum and needs to do so quickly.
Because St. Clair has that ability to just hunker down and suffocate you when they've gotten that lead. It's not like they're taking their foot off the gas, but they're not overextending. They're not letting you beat them. If you're scoring, they're going to beat themselves, like we saw with Vesh on that defensive collapse that allowed the first goal for Indiana Tech. But new game, new scoreline, 0-0. Bluey has to be able to buy some time, as it looked like he was the third man for a moment, but Velo now. Limited boost, has to hustle for that one. Jazzy on the rotation back is able to get the boost and the ball, but quickly sacrifices his life to the hands of Bluey. Infield pass from Rush, looming for the resident American, but they're able to link up, unable to link up once more. Velo can't kill some time, and that 30-second threshold that we were looking for the first goal is officially gone, but Indiana Tech doing better, maintaining some pressure in the blue half, but Reshiram's a little bit tangled on his own 2 feet.
I'll certainly talk about micro victories and that you're able to slow things down here in the early going and get confident and ascend high, looking for a team play. Ultimately, Blue will be denied, and that's something that we have seen with Indiana Tech, their ability to go for those solo plays. But I think once they lock in, they're able to get 2 or 3 individuals. That's where I find they have a lot of success. It actually opens things up for them. Back pass up and over. Veschauer nudged away. Gorgeous save by, again, doing everything. The Swiss Army knife this evening. That is Zai passing out the demo memo as well, wanting to get on that scoreboard for oh so many reasons. And again, Nutty, I think we, like I said, anticipated Zai going out there and making a statement. He's doing just that from one game to the other.
Yeah, these guys were not really threatened in the quarterfinals of the NECC Division 1 last semester. I did my research. Looked like they played Davenport and swept them 4-0. I don't want to take the same kind of belt to Davenport's in-state neighbor. Or no, not in-state neighbor. State neighbors. They're up in Michigan, Indiana Tech, relatively close. But the Warriors going to do all they can to throttle that attempt away. A nice pinch there from Reshiram leads into the hands of Zai, who loses his life once more. Velo on the catch, has to pop it over Vesh, who has limited boost. Jazzy goes, it passed him as well. Resh is hunting, but unable to locate Zai, and a breakaway for St. Clair, which Velo is, at the end of the day, able to poke away, maybe maintain a little bit of defense as well. But here we go, another counter. Bluey has to beat Jazzy, but no, he's so large, and he's able to direct the rotation of this play. The snap of a finger. Velo now, one reset. Tries to go over Zai, which he can. 50-50 with Jazzy. Doesn't hit the mark, so Resh takes over in Indiana Tech. Still still half of this game left to go, but I'd say it favors Indiana Tech, and it's going to fall into Bluey's hands. What even happened here?
This is what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. Velocity, great carry, and Vesh drug out of position, I think, looking to challenge Velo, and totally understandable, as oftentimes you'll see Velo kind of kick to the side, sneak that past you, but instead, Bluey just sitting right in front of net, and dare I say, Bluey not getting the respect he deserves.
He, I would say, is the most disrespected player on this team. No one's really given Resh and Velocity any space whatsoever because they know how mechanical both of those players are. Bluey has a little bit of space to work with. You saw specifically at the Tri-City Slam, there were a couple of series, specifically in the grand final up against Oklahoma Christian. It really felt like Bluey was the only one who could get something going, and that's because Oklahoma Christian didn't immediately pre-jump him as they did the other two. We're going to need to see a little bit more of that from Bluey if this is going to go in the favor of Indiana Tech, I would say, as Resh and Velocity are going to continue to do their own thing, but so far in game number 2, it's the start that they wanted.
Not only what you were mentioning, it's the speed of the two Europeans that afford him to get comfortable in moments like that, and they build upon it, because we know that Reshi and Velo, like you said, they can step up later on. I mean, they do so much as Rich pops this one off the booty. Look at the follow-up, it gets yeeted on over into the corner, kicked high by Bluey, looking for a serve up, ultimately denied. But again, to finish the point, it is the speed of Velocity and Reshi that, again, afford Bluey that opportunity to get those shots on, and once he finds comfort, once he is able to get those shots, once he is able to settle in, then you add Velo, then you add Reshiram. That is the absolutely dangerous triple threat that has brought Tech so many victories.
Maybe another opportunity with the triple threat, and it's the American again! Right after you called him out, Bluey doubles the lead, and all three members getting involved. Resh to Velo, Velo to Bluey, Bluey into the back of your net.
Hashtag Monkey Shines knows ball. So 2-0 in favor of Indiana Tech, 46 seconds. And again, this is what we'd love to see, the rebound. I am always curious from game 1 to game 2, how the team that takes the loss, how they respond. This is something that Indiana Tech struggled with back during the fall. Those rebounds, like you said, settled in now. Are they confident that, hey, it doesn't matter. As long as we have, 30 seconds out there, we can score 2. Maybe 3. Kickoff goal is very much a thing. The serve away, dangerous moment, packed back by Velocity sky high, going to be met by Zai. And again, the speed speed and the enthusiasm that we saw from St. Clair there in the early going of game number 1, it has largely been nullified.
It has been, and that's been a testament to, I'd say, the midfield play of Indiana Tech. We haven't seen many St. Clair shots. There's one there that rattles off the crossbar, but we saw a couple off some kickoffs. That's really it. Zai was controlled like an animal in a zoo, and it's exactly how you're going to have to tame him if you're going to take down St. Clair.
Yeah, marvelous work there by Indiana Tech. What a rebound and reversal of fortunes. And you've got Zai out there, 247 versus almost 800 last time around. Jazzy shot after shot after shot, but Zai actually, like you said, locked down a single shot. Meanwhile, you got Bluey out there with 2. You got Velocity out there for Resh with 2 as well. Like to see things nice and even. Just one south of a hat trick, the playmaker possibility and the savior. Everybody getting involved. Resh with the savior plus as well. I typically don't think of Resh as a defensive player, but he can most certainly lock in, as you see right there. Full team effort, bringing this one even at 1.
Reshiram's one of those third mans where he is kind of like that rock on defense, but it's the rock that you use at the top of your sandcastle to signify that it's done. Does that make sense at all?
Yes. I got this. This one you make sure you can pop the flag in, put it up top. So this is the notification. This is my statement out here, quite frankly. And to be able to have such a confident third man, a creative third man, I mean, that is unique in and of itself, because I will say, a lot of people, they hear the words role player and to them it's some kind of slur. Absolutely not. Reshi, though, it's not just you do this one thing. Again, is that creativity, his ability to really play and create on the fly. And I think that's absolutely huge for Indiana Tech. And again, we talk about hot hands right now. It is, again, quite possibly the individual, quote unquote, disrespected by St. Clair in this one. And on top of which, good sir, talk about the fact there's a 2-goal run right now in favor of Tech going back to last game.
Yes, St. Clair has effectively been shut out for the last 6 minutes. That's a participation award that we actually will hold like a bar of gold, because it's kind of tough to shut these guys down. They're high flying. They can make stuff happen with the snap of a finger, like I mentioned. But so can Reshiram. To finish off that point about him being the third man, he's able to make space for his teammates to where the passes go out so sporadically, but so coordinated as well.
The struggle as well is his delay ability and his reads, because they can most certainly, Rush can most certainly stall to the point where he kind of suckers the opposition in, and then his strikes or his setups are so lightning quick that you could have Velo there, you could have Bluey both there. We saw Bluey a little bit earlier on a couple times, and they're also effective, dangerous position to be in. And again, it just seems like as time goes on, it might be a half, it might be a game, but Indiana Tech, that speed of play between all three of them, it has continuously stepped up regardless of league, regardless of channel.
It has, and it's also incredible what they can do on these low boost totals. Like, you look at Resh, he beat 2 members of St. Clair with next to nothing in the tank. And Velocity as well, next to nothing in his tank. Well, still 33, but doesn't use much of it. He's just able to play his body, play the 50, try and find another teammate. Same with Bluey, that one shot doesn't sneak through. But still, Velo up quickly. Indiana Tech, the pressure keeps ramping up. Resh takes the top off. Velo's there. He does get beat by Jazzy nonetheless. And now a counterattack from St. Clair. Zybel with a complete whip, though, leaves a 1v1. Reshiram just lost that ball on target. Keeps Vesh honest. As now both of the remaining Warriors up in attack. Swords drawn. Velo reset. Can't find it. Quick tap there from Bluey to try and find the third man, but Jazzy's solid in defense. Velo, quick shot. Jazzy now, again, gets removed, and it's an empty net for Reshiram.
So first and foremost, you can mark down the time and the date of that whiff by Zai, but this one, again, it is bully ball. Removing the assassins from the pitch, it is actually a dime up for the Warriors. We're talking 3-0, going back almost a game and a half of regulation. And no, it's not just about participation trophies, good sir. It is in fact about those micro victories, because you build upon it. It gets to 6 minutes of scoreless, 7, 8, so on and so on and so on. And that is something that just continues to fan the flames. The kindling lit a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially south of half here, a game and a half, and Indiana Tech on a 3-0 run going back to game number 2.
And it's not even that the offense has been incredible. Speaking of incredible offense, that's beautiful there from Vesh. Does he find the reset off this pass? Oh my goodness, he sure does. And then is able to play the 50 velo bottom right corner. That's well done from the Saint.
I think the kind of thing that we expect, great heads up play to be able to bring this one even. So for St. Clair said, okay, we're trying to settle in here, but it's how fast Tech can respond to it. And we all know, as we have seen today, it can be lightning quick, Reshi the Sen. Ultimately, St. Clair, the pressure that they have held up against for the time being, I mean, it has been intense back and forth as we have seen a veritable game of tennis set up out here on the Rocket League pitch. But ultimately, at the end of the day, hey, I'm liking what the boys have shown. Again, it is a best of 7, effectively a best of 5 right now, regardless of what happens here, Nutty. We still got a long road to go.
Yeah, I predict we are. Regardless of which way this game number 3 goes, we will see at least game 6. I'm pretty certain we're going to see game 7 with how both of these squads are playing. Back and forth, blow for blow, shot for shot. And it might be Resh to try and find the final shot of game number 3. That 50 gets dunked down into the hands of Jazzy, but straight right back into the hands of our Englishman. Resh takes over. The other European, give and go, back and forth. It's a 2-man game, and it might work out in their favor. No, Reshiram gets demolished by Zai, which opens up a little bit of space for the 3 Saints remaining on that blue back wall. But Vesh takes over again. Velo unable to play the 50 off the ceiling, so Resh dives in. A little bit of space, no. Jazzy pokes it away, and Bluey takes over. Straight into the hands of Zai, but he gets bumped off. It's back and forth. No one's really getting any time, Monkey Shines.
I think it really lends to your statement of possibly a game 6 or 7 would not shock me in the least bit. Got to have at least 1 overtime in there, maybe 2. I think is almost academic at this point. Zai looking for a setup, senpai down. Well, we saw a dive up on one end, we had a dive up on the other. This one, however, does not go back of net, and again, just ice in the veins of the Warriors, and at precarious spots they have been in, but walked away unscathed. River foul ultimately Jazzy going to be able to kick this one back out of mid, 55 and tank. Plenty to work with, kick tie, and again, breakaway moments against the 1v1 aficionado. Not a way you want to go through life. It is Vesh now with possession, 10 seconds left to go in this one again. St. Clair Saints looking to grab a lead in this series. Might they get one into send up and over, velocity, nudge over into the corner, set back down. Vesh keeping this one moving, zeros now on the clock. Tech might have their opportunity, a last gasp effort here in OT, but FTC, folks, indeed, for the content in our game number 3.
I was questioning if anyone actually wanted to win this game number 3. A couple of whiffs on both sides on the Indiana Tech backline results in a game 3 overtime winner. Takes series advantage. That's a tough 50 for Velocity to get to, but he is in fact able to. Straight into the hands of Zai, though. He collects the 100 boost and collects a little bit of space. Has a reset to play with, but ends up just taking the life of our American man. Bluey, he's dead. Reshiram with the sidewall skimmer. Gets lofted to that backfield wall for St. Clair, but again, it's corralled. Reshiram, first touch is solid. Can't get it over Jazzy, but Jazzy almost plays into his hands. Quick, no catch there from Bluey. The controlling touch, not exactly what he wanted, but back and forth in this midfield we go. Might fall into the hands of Bluey, no. Sent away by Jazzy once more, and St. Clair still surviving.
St. Clair looking like they may be able to get their feet back under themselves. I mean, again, looking so in sync there in game number 1, and really entirely disjointed in game number 2. But again, you do not get to overtime, not between these two teams, by just mindlessly swatting away at the ball. Jazzy, however, going to be able to send this one away out the back wall, looking for that shot, I do believe, for Zai. And again, nobody there all the way back for the St. Clair Saints, up and over, and it will be Velo again, coming in clutch in the biggest of moments. The set high back and forth it does go. Great stall and lays out for the bump. Not needed, instead just wide-eyed are the Saints. And so we've got ourselves not just a 2-1 scoreline, 2-1 in the game, 2-1 in the series as well.
It was such an interesting final play in that overtime. It looked like a double fake on the side of St. Clair. Maybe they were going for the shot. Who knows? Who cares? They're unable to locate it. It seemed really dangerous for, I believe, Velocity on that backline. He was the only one there. And then to be able to communicate to Reshiram, no, I got it. Go run interference. That's all you need to do. I'll score. Just trust in me. And trust he did. No bump afforded to Reshiram, but like you said, it's the stalling that we saw. Those milliseconds, maybe half a second, separates, I believe it was Vesh, making that save, and Velocity scoring.
And it's a real challenge, too. When you've got a 3v3 situation out there, at least 3 in total, and then you have a breakaway like that, you got to make a determination. You're standing there, you got to, really in that moment, a 2v1, you have Under Saint to the outside, but really, again, running a convoy, ready to make your life miserable. You just kind of, again, stare at, oh, it's just like, I have absolutely no idea what's about to happen. I pray maybe I can jump. But yeah, just great, a great brute force play there by the 2 Europeans. End of the day, sir, that's what we'd love to see. That is the creativity that I was talking about. And you life comes at you fast, but ultimately, right now, the Warriors a little bit faster.
And they are a very fast team. We've harped on this so much throughout the spring semester as Reshiram gets a nice little corner read, 50 between Velo and 2 members of St. Clair, results in the favor of our opponents. Vesh now with another odd man opportunity, one that we saw result for Indiana Tech. Well, so many times in game number 3, but now another 1v1. Velo is able to beat Vesh, but no follow-up means that play stalls out, but what a 50 there from Bluey! Velo slots it!
One thing that I have noticed from St. Clair, which really strikes me as uncharacteristic, is how many times the ball has been right there in front of net for that shot, just daring Indiana Tech to get a shot on net, and multiple times they have happily taken that dare. We did see it a bit for Indiana Tech, I think in the game 1 and then shifting a little bit into game 2. But that is when their defense has jumped up, has been just absolutely lightning quick. And I think times when we would think, oh gosh, this is going to be a score last semester, and oftentimes was. I mean, they have truly locked in, and again, really testament to what they have been able to accomplish, over their time to kind of lock in and truly grow, like you said, as the 2 Europeans settling into that Midwestern life. But ultimately, Indiana Tech 1-0 in this one, 2-1. I got to say, my friend, honestly, I think if they get the dub here, I like their chances to close it out next game.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a 2016 Warriors-type choke out of this Indiana Tech roster. But you were mentioning the improvements in the gameplay. I do want to give another big shout-out to Coach Somber. He's gotten these guys into great shape, but Zai is in even better shape. He's been willing St. Clair back into this series, trying to give them this second game. It's a great pass, though, from Vesh. Got to give him his flowers as they come to him. But 118 off the dome piece for Zai, and we're equal.
And really one of the few times, I think, in the past, 2 games that we've really seen Indiana Tech kind of out of position there. Maybe saw a squirrel moment. You're not quite as locked in as you would like to be. You shift back, and we've seen how quickly a return to sender moment it has been with regards to scoring. But, of course, St. Clair, understanding how much is on the line here in this single solitary game, let alone the series, understanding that, hey, we would have to go back and win 3 straight, not a life that they want to go through as well. But yeah, a fine setup there, and it's those kinds of plays as well. They've been cut off so well, I think, by the Warriors. We saw a ton of team plays during game number 1. They have been rare ever since.
They have been. I also do think, I feel like this phrase gets overutilized, but taking this game here for Indiana Tech and going up 3-1 definitely put St. Clair on the back foot. St. Clair took that game number 1, and then the momentum has felt entirely on the orange half of the pitch. That's not something St. Clair is very used to. They're used to being in control of these series and these single games as well. But Indiana Tech has kind of controlled the pace of play.
A dangerous thing is this Indiana Tech team playing with house money in terms of a series like that. Not to say they'll go out and be lackadaisical, not to say they'll take silly risks, but they are more than happy to take some risks that they didn't previously. They can afford to. And the idea isn't necessarily just about domination, but it's about getting in your skull and forcing you to have to come to terms with the idea that you have got to play with a sense of urgency that you may not have. Spike back down! And it is an assist by the Saints. I do believe, nothing way out the nose, by Velocity. It is the send. And ultimately,
oh my goodness,
gracious, the pop back down. And hey, if you ever wondered if the Rocket League guys were smiling down on Indiana Tech this evening, there's your answer.
What an own goal that was. Not to rub salt in the wound for St. Clair, but that ball was slammed into their own net. What an angle there. But still, just under 2 minutes remaining in this game. They've got enough time, but not if Reshiram's hitting sidewall skimmers on you. Bluey has to retreat out. Another infield pass, this time cut off by Reshiram, but the net is wide open. Where's the third man?
Zai is feeling quite generous right now, putting the ball in the back of the net for both teams. It does not have to be December for the Austrian to show that it is a season of giving, but buck 41 left to go in this one. And yeah, there have been a couple of moments where Indiana Tech not looking quite as fluid, as locked in as they did on rotation previously. I think Zai really trying to take this game over as well. So hey, the own goal being what it is, but Vesh says I can provide a little bit of something myself. So indeed, now we see St. Clair able to shift back to what we saw in game number 1. It is an alertness and intensity and aggression that we have not seen since that point.
And it's credit to them as well for being able to bounce back after, like we mentioned, the momentum goes into the favor of the Warriors. Philo tries to get a quick little doink, can't do so. But the bump comes through, and Reshiram, bottom left corner. There's only one place he can put this ball, and find it he does.
They will happily go back and forth. They will happily play pickleball with you if at all necessary. And now that scoreboard lighting up like a pinball machine. Buck 25, the question is, where does it stop? Might we be able to get to a 10-piece at this rate? Again, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Indiana Tech just winning an overtime stanza. St. Clair grabbing that game 1 dub. Indiana Tech fine response. And then, of course, the Warriors with that OT win. More than happy are they. Well, they may not more than happy to get into an OT, but more than happy to finish one off already with one OT killer. But St. Clair, again, testament, they understand the assignment in this one, knowing that the win, it is critical, maybe not mandatory, but again, nothing that you want to do go out there and win 3 in a row. This is certainly a team that could do that, but again, just simple mathematics, not something I would. I'm terrible at math in the first place, and I can tell you that is bad enough.
Bad, in fact, it is. I'm looking, never mind, I'm looking at velocity. I'm looking at him coming off the ceiling, and I'm looking at him taking the lead back for Indiana Tech. I can't even make my point, that's how quickly he is.
As if Zeus himself wanted to make a statement. 115 kph, absolute banger from above. So indeed, it has just been machine gun offense right now for both of these teams, taking strike after strike. Bluey may follow, indeed he will. And just like that, do you remember when it was 3-2 in favor of St. Clair? I don't.
I was about to say, I don't either. Indiana Tech's able to put the dreams and turn them into nightmares for St. Clair. Shout out Meek Mill. But still, again, I keep harping on this time for St. Clair to do something, but I'm looking directly, as I was trying to say, at one man, the Polish newcomer to the A team, Vesh. You got to see him step up once more. He's got 2 assists and 1 goal, 100% goal participation for him in this game number 4. I believe it's been more of the same in the first 3 as well, but one final attempt. Got to be able to park the bus. Reshiram opts not to go, but it doesn't matter because there's no contact from Zai. The first time we've seen that out of him. Bluey and Jazzy combined, pardon me. Zai gets chased away, and the final killing of the clock transpires. Indiana Tech, series point.
How about one more? For good measure, says Bluey. Again, a true reversal of fortune from 3-2 to 6-3 opposite direction. That's what I'm talking about, just in terms of the rebound, in terms of mentality of champions, and offense there as well. But honest to goodness, I think that St. Clair, they were able to step back. I think it's even more a testament to what the Warriors were able to do. I mean, that is not the team that we saw in game 2. It's not the team that we saw in game 3. And yeah, there were a couple of moments when things just went awry for St. Clair, but they were there to take advantage, were the Warriors. And now we're talking about series point.
I was talking earlier about St. Clair sweeping Davenport in the quarterfinals last semester. It's not a sweep on the other side, but man, it might be a gentleman's sweep at that. Game 1 going to St. Clair. I do feel like if St. Clair is able to pull this back, even to a game 7, that is monumental. A 4-goal swing in game 4 to put you, I said it earlier, on the back foot. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. It's Rocket League. This game isn't over until the clock hits 0 and the ball hits the ground. But it's pretty damn close.
Everything is impossible until it's not, especially in the game of Rocket League. But yeah, St. Clair, again, this is a team that can come back and play to that level. continue to be impressed by what this Indiana Tech team has been able to accomplish leaps and bounds in such a short period of time. But again, St. Clair, they have been able to be so successful for good reason. Again, a tremendous trio. They're not going to go gently into that good night. They will happily take advantage if you decide, oh, hey, we'll just, again, kick the legs up. We got some room to work with. We can do this, we can do that, but ultimately we can also have the drop down serve up all of 7 seconds into regulation. It is the Frenchman, I think, looking for that his own, but ultimately will happily dime up his teammate. And Bluey just kind of sitting back and admiring that 1-0 lead.
It's not a great it's not a great start to St. Clair's Hail Mary. Call it Project Hail Mary. Shout out Ryan Gosling of not a reverse sweep, but something that feels awfully close, in all honesty. If you were to tell me 20 minutes ago, after that Game 1 loss, that Indy Tech would take 3 in a row and be in firm control of this quarterfinal, I'd call you a liar, and I'd call you a silly, silly goober. But maybe a second one coming through, Bluey unable to make contact, so Jazzy is able to break out of his own half. A lot of boost and a reset afforded to him. First one is Velocity. He gets beat. Resharem combines with a 50. Maybe an infield pass from Vesh, but Zai turns back as that third man. Wary of the counter attack. Resharem reset over 1. Maybe the double tap. Maybe just doing it all himself. No, 2 members of St. Clair have to combine to keep that one out, and we remain 1-0.
And if you are St. Clair, the last thing you want to see is Reshi feeling himself. Is Reshi getting ready to do something absolutely astonishing, or at least making the attempt? Because it is there. But still, St. Clair playing patient for them. It is bit by bit. It's not even game by game, moment by moment, 40 or 15 to 30 seconds at a time. But again, they have been stymied, as they previously saw, and Zai not going to be able to get a shot or really anything else. As, again, the Saints trying to even brute force, and indeed it will be bully ball that gets them on the board. Expect this to be the case as we continue on for the remainder of the series. St. Clair understanding indeed the airdrome bumps and anything else. You got bumps, demos, anything of the sort, the kind of thing that makes them look out there and say, that's cringe. No, that is how you win ball games. St. Clair knows it, and they have to get ferocious if they are going to grab another one. And indeed, straight off the kick, Bash continues on. This is, again, a feisty group of Saints. They ain't done just yet.
It's an awkward playoff, the kickoff as well. It seems like that ball tips off Bluey's nose backwards and into his own net. St. Clair able to put the finishing touches on that, but now it's another kickoff play. Resharem loses his life for it, but Bluey doesn't have control of the ball either. Has to play 50 with Zai. That falls back again into the hands of Resharem, who previously lost his life. He had a little bit of space, unable to make contact with the ball. Indiana Tech looked a little bit frazzled, if you ask me, but still a lot of time, like we keep harping on. The physicality, though, from St. Clair, gonna do what it can to suffocate Indiana Tech and make their life miserable.
And no reason for Tech to obviously go away from what they're doing or what they have been doing, but St. Clair, again, they are squaring up. They are going right at the jaw. They're going right at the nose, and they are trying to, again, if they do not take this dub, they're going to make Indiana Tech remember what they paid to get there. Ultimately, Vesh, again, getting on the board here twice in quick fashion for the Saints, but will happily take a 1-goal deficit. We've seen how quickly Indiana Tech is able to bring these things even. Again, there was that moment. I don't really remember what it was like in the time, since it was rather brief. It was 3-2 in favor of St. Clair last time around, so Louis not going to be able to get a follow. And again, it just does take a scant few seconds for Indiana Tech to get back on the board, but St. Clair now locked in, the sent up and over, and no team play will be there for the Saints. Again, from game 1 to where they are now, Indiana Tech, like you said, looking a little bit frazzled there for a moment, but they have settled back in.
They have, and I think that's something that, while mid-game adjustments can be rough, something that Indiana Tech's been able to do consistently, I'd add. You look back at the Open number 2, up against that upper series against Bruton Parker, that 3-2 victory for them. They got stressed in that series. Bruton Parker really pushed them to the limits. I believe they went down 4-2 in game number 4, looking to bring that series back to a game number 5. And, you know, the 2-goal comeback was found from Indiana Tech. It's something that these guys, they don't practice. Obviously, you can't replicate game scenarios, but I mean, it almost feels like they're able to at times.
And Brute and Parker, they will indeed punch you in the mouth. That is just their brand of Rocket League. They will absolutely make you earn every single win, and ultimately going to be able to hold things down is Vesh, doing a little bit of everything. We saw Sai in a similar position in game number 1, and right now St. Clair just trying to hold on for the time being, trying to deny Indiana Tech the opportunities that they have seen previously. They have done rather well, but again, it does not take long. The speed of Indiana Tech with 50 seconds left still feels like an eternity.
It does, and speaking of an eternity, 50 seconds is more than enough time. I mean, especially when you're down 1, you can even score on 0 seconds like we all know when you're all good, but St. Clair's not going to let it happen that easily. 2 members are going to be beat, though. Bluey, maybe a quick shot, no. Fans on it, so Zai is able to pick up the counter-attack and bury this game number 5 if he so chooses. Now, Jazzy gets beat as well. Vesh has to be careful here. Bluey coming through, but he can't make contact. Resh, maybe a quick shot infield pass to Bluey! On the backflip, ties us up with 18 seconds.
Tactical backflip and then some Vesh. It is a serve up. It's something that we've seen from St. Clair multiple times this evening. At the end of the day, put in a terrible situation, so much pressure on them. They're trying to get it away, and ultimately the Warriors will happily accept the gift. And right now, 2-all, the potential for and it is the double, but not in the form and fashion that we expected. It is the dime up by Vesh and the follow. At the end of the day, St. Clair, we do in fact take those, but my gosh, Vesh, I mean, came out there, scored the 2 that you see on the scoreboard for the Saints right now, but to be instrumental in the loss? Whoa! Indeed, looking to pull their butts out the fire. And my goodness gracious, what a turnaround and what a sequence.
What a weird ending to this game number 5. Back-to-back own goals. I do believe that shot from Zai was going out off the crossbar, but Resh ended up putting it in his own net. Chaos to start off, or to finish off game number 5. And it might not even be done. Jazzy on 0 seconds. Goodness me.
Or just work there from an individual. Doesn't matter from on high or on low. The send away vicious. Double says, no, my God, we are not going out like that. It is a moment we'll look back on and raise both eyebrows about. But at the end of the day, St. Clair able to survive absolute mayhem in that one. But again, it never really looked like they were settled in. They did have those moments of success, which is all you really need at the end of the day. Great shot chart as well. Restrum only able to really be the standout in terms of those opportunities. It looked like Indiana Tech there for a number of moments, just kind of, again, not lethargic, but just kind of looked like they were like, okay, we'll do this. We'll take our time. It'll happen, and then it didn't happen. So I think this is a moment here as we shift on in to our next game. They lock in a bit, they get focused, and they look to take out their aggression on St. Clair here yet again.
Lucky Shines, that was weird. That entire final minute and a half.
This is Rocket League.
That was weird Rocket League. I don't like what I'm feeling in the air. I'm feeling like we might see a game number 7. But we harped on it earlier. This is at least going 6. Like, we called out, but you gotta wonder, what does that do to your mental? You kind of get gifted a series win, a semifinal berth, and then you let it slip.
So as far as what it does to your mental, I don't know that should do too much. The idea, though, that you have 3 to give, that doesn't mean you give 2 and then you finally shift back on Champions Field. It does allow you, I think, to look at that and say, okay, that was just weird. That is definitely one for clips. That's definitely one for short form social media. But at the end of the day, that back and forth, that sequence, not an entire game. Like I said, goofy stuff does happen, and they have the room for the goofy stuff to have happening. But up and over in velocity, nothing goofy about that. Instead, it is catch, carry, and just a soft little pop as indeed velocity taking his own. It is Bluey throwing interference, 3v1 moment, and walks away with the dub. Does velocity.
That is another odd man situation for Indiana Tech, where they're up in the numbers and you're just able to find the nice little bump and clear the way. And it feels like, at least for me, Zai and Jazzy are the ones typically putting Vesh in a terrible position. You gotta wonder, I mean, he's played with these fellas for not that long, but it's still been a good lengthy amount of time. They've made league play. They're here in NECC. They're running some other leagues as well. You gotta wonder if maybe he can calm that. Try and be like, hey guys, why are you leaving me on an island? That's not very nice. I don't want to be like Wilson from Castaway.
And not only that, but what happened previously with just I don't even know where to go with that one. Just absolutely absurd sequence. And unfortunately, Vesh just being two-thirds of it, but set up there. About to win indeed. Jazzy going to be able to follow up. But to finish the thought, that I think is the biggest issue in terms of mental for anybody on this pitch is Vesh. But ultimately the kick high. And it is that small that micro victory right there that can afford the opportunity to focus back in, but that is gonna loom large what happened for a hot minute. And even if we go to a game 7, it's still gonna be back there. You don't just shake that off.
I can agree with that fully. That's a nice demo again. Maybe a bottom left corner slot for Bluey. He's back in the casino, and again the lead from Indiana Tech.
And stolen away. Follow. Gorgeous tee up as well. So Indiana Tech makes the response. And again, we see St. Clair in a moment where they are swinging away, taking some swats, just hoping maybe they will land a punch. But if we're talking about a boxing match, I mean, we're getting further on. We are round 7, round 8, but it is a return volley by Jazzy. 3:33. We have 4 in total, Nutty. I think we probably have another 4 in total to go.
Yeah, this could be an absolute barn burner of a shootout in game number 6. It's just punch, counter punch from these two heavyweights, champions of the CRL world. Now, off this kickoff, it's not going to be a free ball. Zai ends up the better of that encounter. In another odd man situation, Bluey has to be careful here. Vesh plays it low. Zai finally finds his first.
And Indiana Tech right now, like they are indeed on ice skates on whatever surface you do prefer, but Vesh, exactly what he does need here for the Saints, getting involved in a positive form and fashion. You may not be able to get that moment out of your head, but certainly if you're able to install more optimistic, confident ones, it is the layout and velocity, the return. So as far as the 4 total more, I mean, we just need a pair to make that the case. Again, volleyball, name of the game. 3:19 left to go here, Nutty. I don't know where we stop, but I think we continue on with the goals until 0. I have no idea where we're going to stop here.
Both of these defenses just lose their way after a kickoff. I've never seen anything like it in high-level CRL. It's like they don't know how to play the game. But as for Indiana Tech, it's been on their side of history here and there. Now, Zai. Quick pop down, it's into the hands of Jazzy. No reset, finally finds one, but with limited boost, all he can do is play the 50 and try and find some bumps, only one of which he's able to do. Zai now. Corner pinch into the hands of Bluey, but with limited boost, he just lofts that back, tries to kill some time, allow both of his teammates to do the heavy lifting for a moment, but now on the reset, it's going to try and be Jazzy to force that one through, but Zai, look at the shooting accuracy from him!
If there is one individual that I do not want to have that straight-on shots, high, low, it is that man, the Austrian, with that shot on. But ladies and gentlemen, we are still 5 seconds north of halftime, and there are 7 in total on the board.
You gotta think we hit 10, right? I mean, or just going back and forth, man. I love barn burners like these because it allows for a clinical display of both teamwork and solo play mechanics. Speaking of the fundamentals, Jazzy tries to find a quick one. Now, maybe an odd man number breakout for Indiana Tech, but it's back into the hands of Vesh. Bluey has to be careful here. Can't let him get beat, but Resh is able to poke it away. The Warriors come back one more time. Maybe could find it, but no. Into the hands of Zai, another demo, Velo, quick shot, Jazzy, pardon me, with a quick save. Another bump, is that net open? No, Vesh now on the front post to posterize the Indiana Tech defense. Infield pass, can't be located. Bluey has to be careful here, his third man, he gets beat. Maybe a corner read from Zai, can't locate it. Vesh, quick shot, and it's easily corralled by Resharab.
And on the opposite side of the pitch, we saw again an opportunity where the Saints could have dimed up the Warriors, should have dimed up the Warriors, if you ask me. Gorgeous send high. Again, the St. Clair Saints needing this victory to extend things to a game number 7 popped on over across mid. Again, the Warriors looking for a rush up opportunity, and Restream ultimately not able to recover. Not going to be able to grab 100 either. Unfortunately there for the Warriors, but again, looking to put on the pressure that they had previously. The Saints have been able to weather the storm that we have seen, and again, champions for good reason. They've been able to go out there to settle in, say, okay, we will in fact take it bit by bit. And NECC again provided that 3 spot to work with. Didn't want to use it, as I said, but now a minute remaining in this one. St. Clair looking to hold on for dear life.
Maybe another opportunity off a demo. It's going to be a great 50 there from Vesh. So Velo is the first one up to it. Off the left field wall, Resh unable to link up with his European brother, but still time. Here comes Vesh now. Quick catch. Tries to play it over one. Can't do so. Into the hands of Jazzy. Velo finds his opportunity to poke that one away. Maybe a 50. Yes, finds it. But no follow-up there from NECC. Leads straight into the hands of Rush once more. Velo now takes his time. Allows Zai to make his move. Tries to read it, which he's unable to do. Resh now. Pop high over one. Gonna hit ceiling. Back down to him. No, leaves it for Bluey. Trying to hunt the demo, but can't locate anyone. Jazzy solid in defense. Champions Field looming with 15 seconds.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, said you don't want to use these games, and we are not done here just yet. How quickly both of these teams can soar, most certainly, but NECC getting something here in a hurry, needing to find it on the opposite side of the pitch. Just pops back down.
Oh,
and zeros on the clock. Velocity, the send away from one side to the other, looking for a long play, but ladies and gentlemen, indeed, they do use a couple. We are headed to Champions Field, and I drag the content with me wherever I do go, apparently, and Vesh as well. Great rebound there for him, needing something positive. Gets the playmaker plus and a pair of saves. Feeling confident, feeling like, oh yeah, we get back into it. I can do something positive. Dangerous for the Warriors, and again, kind of sleepwalking in that for the latter, minute and a half.
You need to use the bathroom. Too bad. We've got a game 7 loaded up immediately for you, actually, as we get right into the Champions Field equivalent. Winner advances to the semifinal with a date against Fisher Esports. Fisher, a team you know all too well, Monkey shines, but a team you might know a little bit better is NECC.
I do. I've seen a fair bit of Royals, fair bit of Justice playing alongside Matt out there as part of one RLCS action, but we have seen Velocity score early. We've seen this movie before, and unfortunately, we haven't liked how some of these sequels have ended. At the end of the day, this comes down to what is essentially a best of one. Just hard fought it has been, and again, with what we've seen in this series, if it's any indication, Nutty, we've still got another 5-6 goals to go before all is said and done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, in Game 7's opportunity in a stage like this, you love to see it, man. Velo, quick shot, unable to locate it. Resh tries to force his way through as the third man, and here comes St. Clair. They've got numbers. Vesh is able to beat one. It's just Bluey picks his positioning and sinks it.
Did not love that moment whatsoever. Vesh finding comfort again, and Bluey, unfortunately, out of position. Shadow defense, not very crisp in that moment. We are tied at 1-4-22. Looks like we may be headed back from whence we came in game number 6. And Jazzy not going to be able to follow up on that one. Do not want the 1v1 aficionado with the opportunity in a 1v1 moment. But ultimately, the Warriors trying to find a long-term consistency with their momentum. The quick strikes, they have been there, but I feel, you know, those solo moments are great. I want to see some teamwork here.
I do as well. You need to see some of those infield passes that were working out so well in games 2, 3, and 4. As we almost find one there between Bluey and Reshiram, but can't connect. The shot was just a little bit too weak. Another demo there. It's going to leave Zai with a free shot. No, Bluey hustles him. 1v1 opportunity here now. Maybe a 2v1. Look for the pass to Velo, can't locate it. Resh, that shot goes high, but a free backboard leaves Resh to come up again. Maybe a double, maybe a triple. Velo, can he force his way through? It's on target, but no one's gonna finish it. Finally, Bluey does.
And indeed, again, stop me for this one. Tactical side flip. The point was, it was up and over the shoulder. Okay, technically a side flip, but we'll just up and over the shoulder. Up and over there. I will say, though, love seeing Bluey right in front of the goal. He's done so much. I think 4 or 5 goals in and of itself here this evening. But again, putting that pressure on, you gotta wonder as well, Nutty. We've seen a few of this basically passing plays set up for NECC by St. Clair. I gotta wonder if we see one more here when it matters the most.
Probably will. And you'll see Vesh again, as he's been everywhere in the last 3 games. Let alone, Zai has been everywhere this series, but Vesh, I feel like, is the one player on St. Clair that you look to as the reason that they've managed to get all the way back to game number 7. He stamps his name onto this winner go home one more time. I will add, the loser of this game does go down to face Concord, who, if anyone is aware of the news, might be not playing that next series. So maybe you do advance into the lower bracket quarterfinal, which would be great, but obviously you want to continue in the uppers to go face Fisher.
They certainly do. Ultimately, the Warriors, they were able to take a 3-1 lead in this series, but St. Clair, the champions that they are, able to bring things back even. And I will say, best case scenario here for the Saints as well, that absolutely wild moment a little bit earlier on with Vesh. You want to do what you can to get his confidence back. I don't know what much more they could have done to get him back in a happy place. Now you can just look back and say, hey, you remember that one time with the one thing? Yeah, that was sure funny. Ha ha ha. But we are officially south of halftime here. Again, the Warriors back and forth. This has gone with St. Clair. However, I would argue the momentum right now with the Saints, even though we have a tie ball game.
Yeah, double commit there. Works out for Velocity, able to take the top off of both Zai and Vesh. Now an infield pass. Find that bottom right corner. Couldn't find it as Zai still potent in defense, but now Reshiram has to be able to make contact. No, Zai trying to find the air dribble. Bump again!
I call him the Alpine Assassin for good reason. Ladies and gentlemen, gets the reset and a fall from grace, the deletion, able to get St. Clair that lead, and credit where credit is due. Good sir, I see you out there. So we are just a couple seconds south of 2. St. Clair has been in this position before. At one point, we did see a reversal to 6-3. I do know that we're going to get it this time around, but ultimately the Warriors looking to return to their speed. We have really seen a return to game 1, really, that form of fashion with St. Clair. Indiana Tech, however, again, kind of a reverting back. I guess it's kind of come full circle in a way. Of course, we saw Indiana Tech a little bit more successful in the early going, but it's kind of got that mentality, that feel up and over. Velocity, no! Rest, no! What? Oh my goodness, again, with sign missing, mark the time of the date. With that, mark the time of the date. And again, would hate to lose this one on a moment like that. St. Clair, again, they are looking for a fast break opportunity. Nutty. This is going to be nutty till the very end.
And that was your moment if you're Indiana Tech. You had the 2v1, you had the beat, you had the ball in the back of the net, but you couldn't locate it. 50 there from Vesh. Leaves another odd man situation, but it's a good cut there from Reshiram. He does lose his life, but he is able to essentially save a goal. Velo now, first touch is solid. Bluey got that 100 boost. Not going to look for him. Look for the air dribble bump, couldn't find it. Zai now waiting on Reshiram to make his move. Pardon me, Jazzy is who's waiting for him. Bluey now tries to loft it into the hands of Velocity, who does steal that corner boost. A good play there, but poked away from Jazzy. Over to Zai, more seconds ticking off this clock. And with only 30 of them left, maybe one more for Vesh. Might as well put this one away.
Again, the St. Clair Saints, they are definitely looking at that moment. They're chuckling a little bit. Say, do you remember? Now, to be fair, 33 seconds. Still time. Kickoff goals are very much a thing, but again, we look what's old is new again in terms of game number 1. You look at that, you shift back over here. We saw Indiana Tech, largely nullified early on in game number 1, and then St. Clair, of course, winning that one 4-2, mind you. And now we get to the bookend. We saw some success in the early going from Indiana Tech, and now was stalled out. So talk about a tale of a series, the ebb and flow here. And what a recovery by St. Clair. Like I said, champions for good reason. Did not go gently into that good night. Just straight up did not go into that good night. So at the end of the day, Indiana Tech falling short after having the 3-1 lead in the series. St. Clair going at there and doing what champions do. So the Warriors do fall.
And, the season's not over. Let's not act like it's completely done. You got Concord, I believe, on, what is that? That is scheduled for Friday, actually, weirdly enough. Don't see that too often. But, seems like we don't have much time. We're going to hop into the B-Streams game in a moment. But I'm going to be so honest with you. I have to run to the restroom. So I think we're going to send it to a real quick break for just about 60 seconds. And then we'll be right back with you guys for the B-Team's NECC playoffs.
Thinking about all the things that we've been through. For I'm 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to move. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
To see the B team, you get Chippy back in NECC. Also, I'm here all of a sudden. Thank you to Monkey Shines, but I'm getting yelled at about something in the background. I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of this going on here and now. I don't know what's going on back there. Nutty, welcome back. It's more playoffs. It just never ends. So we got the B team
time of year
going up against MST. Let me get this right. Missouri University of Science and Technology. So, we're going to get started here in just a moment. It is Chippy, Cloud, and Feed getting ready to take on these boys. They were the 1 seed going into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
MST is the 8 seed coming into these playoffs.
Oh, no. division is this? Do you know off the top of your head?
Division 3.
So this is still some competitive Rocket League at the very end of the day.
Correct.
Midwest
Correct.
playoffs. I need to pull this. I need to pull this up. I need to be able to see who's in our pool. Oh, Carthage is in our pool. Carthage B team. You want to know what I think? You know what?
Hey, Carthage A is in Div 1. Well, they were. I don't think they made the playoffs.
They did not. They went like 1-6. Poor Carthage.
It's a hard division. Division 1's hard, man. You were just talking about a minute ago how you had Fisher, St. Clair. You didn't even mention Concord is there. Oklahoma Christian, who's been on a tear recently. I don't know. There's a lot going on, and it's just an incredibly tough division. Carthage getting there is a very, very strong showing for them on their own. But here we go. Indiana Tech and MST. It's a new series and new vibes. Let's get going.
This is a rough draw for MST pulling Indiana Tech B. And real quick, I'm going to make a prediction for you. They ain't winning. But, you still got to be able to actually put the pen to paper if you're Indiana Tech. And Cloud, Feed, and Chippy, we saw what they could do a little bit at the Tri-City Slam. That was the last time we saw them in action on land. But the second to last time was at the Queen Cities Clash, I believe is the correct official title.
That sounds correct.
Yeah, that's what I think it was, where they ended up in fourth
Shout out
place,
to U-Cincy.
Yeah, U-Cincy's a good little club team. They're able to put together a LAN that's impressive in and of its own right. Shout out. There's a couple of good schools who were able to put on some nice little LANs. Kentucky with Bluegrass.
I would say Bluegrass being a big one.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest LAN. Man, you got okay. So I run CRL LANs, right? I'm unable to have the biggest LAN in North America because Bluegrass exists, and therefore I don't like them. You want to know who else I don't like? Trey. That's a quick shot there from him. Feed unable to make a read. Norris Chippy, and 1-0 in favor of Mist.
Yeah, also, shout out to the University of Tennessee. They have also put on a couple of events out there in Knoxville. This is a kickoff straight back to the Warrior net. When you think you're out of danger, you're not. Chippy will find some open space. Cloud on the pursuit, playing low. He does get the bounce towards the middle. No follow, though, and back we go again. It's Eclipse. I'm going to say that's how you're supposed to say it. That's a beautiful cut infield, but no finish there for MST.
Still a great start from them. Blade tries to force one through. Can't do so. So it's Chippy right into the hands of Cloud. Out of every single person in this lobby, there's only one with NECC Div 1 experience, and that is our one, our only Chippy! Right on cue!
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Chippy with the goal, but Feed with this beautiful setup, just making space underneath Blade. And the Warriors do tie it up here 1-1.
Speaking of, it's in his namesake. It was a great feed down to the captain of this B team. Good old Chipper. As off the kickoff, a couple of tactical whiffs from both of these sides as Cloud tries to put it into the hands of Feed. Trey removes Chippy from the pitch, but it's not going to matter too much. Almost puts it in his own net. It's going to be not a free ball for Chippy, but a 50 that he loses, or pardon me, from Cloud, a 50 that he loses back into the hands of Chippy. Cloud, maybe a quick shot. Is that one on target? No. Almost diced up the defense of MST, but still will remain deadlocked.
That was a beautiful feed that time from Chippy over to Cloud. Just no finish that time, but we're not done yet. Chippy will get it into the corner. Feed will pursue, but it's up over the top of him, so in comes the third man. Cloud only gets one, and then Blade with clearance, but Chippy has something to say about it and turns it right back to where it came from. That left corner. Feed getting bloodthirsty, but no demo to be found. That will open up some space, but Cloud again in the midfield. Warriors cutting it in half here on MST. This is a center feed, but to commit. So that will give Blade clearance on the right side. That whiff will also allow him to springboard further, but again, only as far as midfield, and it's going to take Eclipse's touch just to get back to the Warriors' end.
Oh, pardon me. Trey now tries to cut off that outlook pass, but quick shot from Blade saved away from Cloud on Champions Field. This really has the feeling of a playoff series. Maybe it's the atmosphere and the bright stars that we see on the top of Champions Field, or maybe it's the fact that Indiana Tech, every series they play in feels like a playoff series. It always gets pretty tight near the end, but something they're going to look to escape from this time. Even back on land, Tri-City Slam, I believe, only got swept once, which is, especially with the level of competition they faced,
they did
impressive.
take a game off the eventual champions.
Exactly. What else are you supposed to do besides celebrate those little victories?
trying to celebrate a win here, but MST is putting up quite a few questions. Message is loud and clear. MST, they're going to play fast. Cloud's going to try and get this one to the middle, just runs out of boost and can't make contact. Trey trying to cut this one back the other way, but Chippy rotates in, and here we go again. Except there's no follow, so that will actually open up some space for MST. The more misses here in midfield, but again finds its way out near to the near pipe, and it's Trey again. The net was open, and they take it. MST up by 1.
Bit of a, I'd say, confusion here on the side of Indiana Tech. Not sure where the third man is. Not sure if Feed is going for a stall or if he's trying to actually win this 50-50. Nevertheless, it results in favor of MST. Off this kickoff, though, does fall again into the hands of Blade. He's got a little bit of an opportunity here. Maybe a 50 with Chippy, which Chippy is eventually able to win. Cloud off that sidewall. No one there except Feed, who wins a 50 again. Got to keep adding these up, but with limited boost, there's not much else you can do. Chippy, though, quick shot. No follow-up, but Feed now. Bottom right corner. Can't find it directly on target, so Cloud tries to keep us in, but now on the other side, Trey tries to put one past. He does. Hat trick. Game 1 in favor of MST.
Well, a little bit of a wake-up call here for the Warriors, if you will. Trey just has a lot of space. That's really hard to defend there if you're Chippy. He can go underneath. He can cut to the left. He can just take the straight shot. It's a tough play to defend if you're in Chippy's position. This one wasn't really out of hand until right there at the end. Like you said, Nutty, MST will take game 1. And vibes high, especially here for Trey, who's got all 3 for MST.
He's the best player on this MST roster, but what feels like a country mile, he's able to open up some space for his teammates, but also do the heavy lifting if he so chooses. He officially kills this game, number 1. And if you look down at the projections at some of these Division 3 matchups, Indiana Tech B losing here to MST was not on anyone's bingo card, but the more the merrier is the saying when it comes to chaos in the NECC.
Hey, what is Collegiate Rocket League without parity, right? At every level. Doesn't matter if it's CRL, NECC Div 1. I'm sure NACE has it too. Everyone beats everyone. There's no consistency. That's just the way this goes. Like you said, Trey with all 3 here for MST. 3 goals and 3 shots. Gets 3 demos as well. Blade putting it up in the back line as well with 3 saves. On the Warriors side, it was Feed with 3 shots. Chippy with the lone goal set up by the aforementioned Feed. But it just felt like better possession when MST had it there in game 1. We'll see if the Warriors are able to do a little bit more. Maybe when they have the ball in the offensive end, they were able to get it there. Just maybe not enough finish, if you will, in game 1.
It's something that we harped on for the A team as well, as those infield passes felt a little bit sluggish. You got to get them there with a bit more pace, a little bit more, what's the word? Whip. You just got to whoop-bang, and it's in your teammate's breadbasket. Gonna look for more of that out of Indiana Tech B. Maybe a reset from Feed, unable to locate it, nor is he able to locate that boost. Nice demo there. Maybe a quick shot from Chippy. No. Free ball for Feed. Can't sink that one. The net was wide open. It's one he's gonna want to have back.
Yeah, those are the ones you can't miss, especially if you're in a playoff series. I don't care if it's the opposing group's 4 seed. I don't care if it's the opposing group's 1 seed. If it's open, you gotta hit it. Can't do it this time. We'll see if Eclipse is able to make him pay, but he is dusted by the aforementioned Chip. Trey will just pop this one midfield. Chip has no boost, so this will force some passivity out of him, but he does still put a hand up. And now Cloud back the other way, up over the top of Trey. Feed on the follow. Everybody misses. And clearance again here for MST. Chippy will get demoed. It's open on the backboard, but Feed rotates back in time.
Look at Trey, man. So inspirational. Unable to finally force that one through, but it is a truly heroic play out of him. And more to harp on the parity that you talked about a little bit, you can look back at the CRL Open number 2 for this roster. Second place in their pool, taking down Fisher and Navy, Delaware. There was some big wins there for ND Tech B. If they were to go and lose to MST, I don't think anyone would be surprised. It's just how CRL goes.
Yeah, and that was a Delaware team that they had lost to earlier in the tournament. They only do fall to, let me check my notes. Bruton Parker. Yeah, boys, you played them already at Tri-Cities. They've seen it before. That's a really good team, Bruton Parker. That's a very, very good result here for Indiana Tech B.
And it's something that they can honestly look to add on to tomorrow night, by the way. I don't know if it'll be streamed here for the B team, but go root for your favorite CRL team, and tonight you're going to be rooting for Cloud.
He has arrived. That is an absolute steamer to the bottom corner. I think Blade gets a piece of this. No, it's not Blade. I have no idea. Those name tags move fast. Somebody down below, it might have actually been Eclipse, looking at the colors. I'm getting the thumbs up from statistician KR Swish. So, we got it. Quick eyes at the end of the day do win. It is 1-0 Warriors. Cloud shot just a little bit too hard to be handled.
I will let everyone know. Tomorrow, if you are an Indiana Tech fan, you're going to have these fellas win their group, which is, for better or for worse, loaded. And then they're going to need some help as well. So maybe not this semester for Indiana Tech, but we've seen miracles on ice. We've seen miracles on the baseball pitch. And we've seen miracles out of Chippy. Reset, kisses it under the crossbar, and doubles this lead.
Oh, Chippy, I didn't know you were like that. Flip reset gets a little bit more. 2-0 here for Indiana Tech. Halfway gone through game one. Or game two.
Yeah. Look at this. I ain't trying to harp on our opponents, but you're talking about big lag. You want to know what's lagging? Chippy and his ego after he resets on you. Give him the tech pause, maybe. We'll see how nice we're feeling, but Feed's not feeling very nice. Shuts down the offensive tray once more, so Chippy's able to poke that one away. No read there, so Chippy catch. One more man to beat. Plays the 50 into the hands of Cloud. Can he find that read? No. Pops up high. Feed on the back foot. Now is an opportunity. Drop down pass. Chippy wasn't looking, but he sticks around. And still it's on this back wall. Bumps being hunted by Feed. Cloud is in Narnia in Indiana Tech. Unable to find a third.
Yeah, that was a beautiful look, and that was exactly what we were talking about possession, and a little more. Feed unable to finish, still on the goal line. This time Eclipse does get to it, but the Warriors offense has looked much more potent here in game two versus game one. We're waking up a little bit. Chippy with the shot, and it's 3-0.
Amaze. Chippy. You gotta say it 5 times because that's how quick he is on this ball.
Set up again by Feed. 93 seconds to go. I'm sure the boys are nice guys. I'm sure we'll have a pause after this game is all said and done. But while we're here, we take those.
Take those? Are you kidding me? Yeah, of course we gotta take those. These fellas are able maybe to find a fourth. No, that one poked away from Blade. So Chippy again on this drop down. Can he find a dunk? No. Not able to be located. That ball will be on target, but Feed is that third man, is in total control of this game number 2. Speaking of control, Indiana Tech, I think it's not impossible for them to let this one go, but I honestly think you can seal this one up, ship it back home to NECC, and call this a tied series.
Yeah, not impossible, maybe improbable, approaching impossible now with Cloud with his second. Both C players, Cloud and Chip, putting up a pair.
And it's what you want out of specifically Cloud. I feel like he's, I wouldn't say the worst of these three, but least well known, in all honesty. I feel like you see Feed here and there getting some cool results, whether it be in ranked or some random tournaments on the side. Chippy, I mean, everyone knows Chippy. Are you kidding me? It's Chippy. But Cloud, sometimes a little bit under the radar. It's good to see him pick it up in game number 2, even out this series one more time. And, you know, we're following the same trend as we were with the A-team, Bub, where game 1 looks like it just slips away from you in bad fashion. Game 2, you come back, it's dominant. Are we going to see Champions Field here? I hope not.
I'm going to plead the 5th on that one. Chippy's going to get another one, by the way. That's a Hattie for the Div 1 GOAT. Chip makes it 5-0.
This man's the MVP.
Cloud got a touch there?
Teams. I suppose so. Hey, you know what? He can have the 50 points, go home happy, because this game's already over. It was book wrapped at 4-0. 5-0 is just salt in the wound. Gonna try and maintain this clean sheet for Indiana Tech, and it looks like they'll have no problems doing so. Trey, Blade, and Eclipse have a lot to speak about during this minor or maybe major Tech pause.
Yeah, who knows? What we do know is the best of 7 has now turned into a best of 5, as the ball does hit, to quote Monkey Shines, terra firma. 1-1 your series score.
And that was exactly what these fellas need. Feed, doing some work off ball. We didn't see much of him on the ball, as it was really just maintained by Chippy and Cloud. They gave no space to the fellas down at MST, and it's exactly what you need when you are favored. You can't really allow these guys to have space. You just gotta punch them.
I felt that. I saw it, and I felt it. Right to the face. Yeah. Hey, I don't know, man. We don't know what's going on with MST. We do know they just dropped a game. And we do know they talked about, what was it after the second goal that they needed tech pause? Respect to MST. I think we're actually giving it to them. So I don't know. We'll take a minute and just, I don't know, chill, have a good time, chat. How you doing? Gonna break the fourth wall for once. I can't actually communicate with chat. I'm staring at a camera, folks. I hope you're doing well. Not the greatest result for the Warriors, 30 minutes ago, if even nutty. Banger series. Absolute heater of a series. A little bit short, sure. It's also St. Clair, the two-time defending champions. Relax. Okay, it happens. It happens. We're going to drop down to lowers. Did you not watch that team last semester? You know what they did? They beat Northwood 4-0. They also beat that St. Clair team. Like what, 4-1, 4-2? Listen.
It was 4-2.
Trust the process. Lower bracket run incoming. For the B team here, we're about to just win the next 3 and life goes on. Obviously, we have the script. It's right here on my watch. Nutty, how you feeling so far?
I have a singular pair waiting for me after this matchup, and I'm very excited. So this is a message to Chippy. Please win fast. I want to go eat my pear. It's really yummy, and I'm looking forward to it. Outside of that, it's a great night. There's 2 Indiana Tech series going on right now. It's playoff time for any and everyone. You got NECC starting up, SEL and NEL. Shout out all of my SEL homies. See you guys there. But there's so much action happening. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah. And shout out, by the way, the boys just went and won a series. They're in the chat right now. Not only do I see Feed, but I see family members in the chat. Listen, he's having a good time. Feed's a gamer, man. He's on Twitch. He's in game. He's all at the same time sometimes. It's that, I don't know. He's into it. He's very into it. And you got to respect the grind. You really do. He's right there.
To chat in Twitch after he scores a goal. Like, just tab out, say hello that you scored, and then go back to playing the game. Feed, that's my mission from you. I know where you're at. I know you're in
I respect
Indiana,
the content.
buddy.
I respect the content. I also see Clouds GF in chat. Hi, Clouds GF.
Hello, Clouds GF.
That's not Cloud, by the way. That's Clouds GF. Just want to make that clear.
No, it's Cloud. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's disguised.
That's fine. Fine. Yeah, I see Feed's mom in chat saying, can you get on the board, please? Thanks. Yeah, Feed. Get on the board, bro. What are we doing? Just assisting Chippy and Cloud over here. Get on the board. Get one. They're here.
That got me good. That got me really good. Hey, my mom would do the exact same thing.
Hey,
if I'm slacking a little bit, she'd whip me. Okay, that sounds bad. She'd whip me into shape, metaphorically.
He said, I love the passion. Back to game time. And back to game time, truly we go. We are right into game 3. That was fast.
I wonder what MST was changing, but regardless of what it was, I can promise you it's not going to change this. Yeah, apparently, man. Let's switch off of Spectrum and down to some sort of fiber, because, oh man, let me tell you, I got fiber here in good old Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I leave Chattanooga, my man.
It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. The fact that it is as expensive as it is, though, is very depressing. That's a very depressing moment for MST. That was a beautiful setup, and Chippy, I think, just came out of nowhere to steer that one aside. That's a demo in the backfield that does open up some space for MST. They will use it to simply clear. Cloud does see a rogue Chippy on the right side. Does he have a corner read? He might! Whoa! It's just off target. Shades of Reshiram from Chippy, just no finish.
And Chippy is a shark in the water seeing blood on that corner read. It reminds me a little bit of, if you're an RLCS fan, Eris from Next to Do Esports hitting a couple of those last Friday. But Chippy might not have found that corner read. Well, he did find the corner read. He might not have found it on target, but this one, it's a freebie. Someone's floating in the air, just dangling, doing nothing.
Chippy's on the board again. He got 3 in the last game. He's got another one here 6 seconds in. It is Chips League, and we are all just playing in it. Blade will send this one back to, well, would you look who's on the ball again? Chippy wins the 50. Of course he does, except Eclipse was following. That's a bump. It's available. And again, Chippy, he's everywhere. And now he's coming back the other way.
Musty
gets the reset. I saw the Musty too, but just wasn't able to make contact, and Cloud will just look to reset things.
And shout out good old KR Swish in the chat, starting the L-Bub chant. Let's get that rolling up a
come
little
on,
bit.
man.
Yeah, we are so back. Bub's on the broadcast. He's getting slandered. Man, it's a good Wednesday night in the business.
Can't get away with anything out here.
No, you can't. Obviously, why would they be nice to you, Bub? They gotta bully the fella a little bit.
They love to make me crash out. That's all I'm going to say. Cloud, hey, don't make me crash out here. That's a good touch, so he will support it. He also says W Nutty in chat, so they hate me and they love Nutty. I can't blame him. Cloud's going to move this one back. Speed will follow. No boost in the tank, so he's just looking to take space. Gets the corner, gets it middle. No finish this time, and back the other way we go. It's Eclipse just taking the shot, and Chippy steers it aside. Chaos in front of the net. That was a demo. I think a Warrior down. Still available on the backboard. Cloud with 1. He's going to look for more, but Blade cuts it off. MST is buzzing here. Double into the middle. Chippy cuts it off, and the Warriors will clear.
Pip down, Pip in distress on the back line. Chippy's going to get removed again to free up some space for MST, but they're unable to locate the net. Same with the Clips again on that second follow-up shot. He's got to be careful here as that third man able to make a 1-touch, 2-touch, 3-touch pass. Chippy, no shot as he's unable to corral that one in, but with 2 minutes to go, it feels like Indiana Tech's in full control. Maybe an opportunity here, though. Feed floating, quick shot from Trey. Chippy turned around, and man, he got lost.
This series is just turning into who's going to score more goals, Trey or Chippy, and depending on who does, they win the game. Trey got 3 in game 1, maybe. I think it was just 3. It was just 3. Chippy got 3 as well in game 2, both now with the lone goals for their team. Someone's going to break this deadlock. Is it going to be Cloud? Wait a minute, to the backboard. It is cleared out by Eclipse, and now Chippy called into task on defense. He's being hunted, gets around 2, pops it middle, and there's the clearance from Cloud. No boost for any of the Warriors, so this will just go back to MST's hands. So Clips around 1, but Feed with space, but again, no boost. That'll just pop mid. Cloud is there, Trey gets it around him, and Chippy called into task again on defense.
MST has this funny little quirk where there's a great setup pass from one of their players, and then no one feels the need to follow, and the pass just goes awry. Speaking of passes, it's a great dump down into the hands of Cloud, unable to make significant content. Air dribble bump from Trey. This man does not deserve to be in NECC Division 3. He's playing like an absolute baller. Speaking of absolute ballers, Chippy. He's the only Div 1 member, like we mentioned earlier. Gonna want to see something out of him in this final 55 seconds to put Indiana Tech up in game number 3 and up in the series as well. That's a great beat from Feed. Corner pinch. It is going to find center. Cloud can't take the top off. Chippy, priority backflip. There was no accident there. That's a great cut. That ball pops high. Maybe a follow. No. Trey able to doink this one out in 30 seconds. Finally ticks off the clock.
Oh, that's a dangerous pop. Here comes Blade, denied by Cloud. Nobody really wanting to put that shot on target, as you mentioned, Nutty. It's a lot of setup and not a lot of finish, although this will be an opening for Feed off the pipe. Trey is there, and MST gets away for now, but Cloud puts it back into question. The follow from Chippy denied by Blade, and MST, they were spooked for a moment, but I think, Nutty, we're going to overtime.
Shout out good old Monkey Shines. We're here, FTC 4. The content, the winner, taking another series advantage. It is the exact same script as the A-Teams matchup. Game number 3 went to overtime. You want to know who won that one? Indy Tech A. We're going to see Indy Tech B take it here. I can promise you that as much. Cloud. First touch is a little bit poor. Gonna have to hustle back to this one, make a second touch, which he cannot do on this back line. Feed is in fact backwards, but forwards, backwards, left, right, doesn't really matter. Can't beat the third man, so Eclipse on the hustle back is gonna be able to make contact. Chippy with the whip, so it's Cloud now. First touch is solid. Everyone's awkward, but Blade gets that 50 out.
That was a good look for the Warriors. This is going to end up being a good look for MST. Chippy will handle it well. Feed, I think, might have been looking for Cloud. It ends up finding him in an unorthodox method. Double tap off the side wall. Denied by Blade. Chippy off the corner. It's there for Feed, and it's cut off by the defense before the shot can materialize. And Blade will drop this one down in front of the Warrior net. Chippy keeps it to the right side for now. Nearly got the skimmer, and back the other way we go. It's Eclipse with Feed on the goal line. He'll make the save. The rebound is there. Feed once again tall to the task. And it stays out for now. Blade infield. Who's there? It's MST. It's Eclipse. And we are trailing this series 2-1.
So I, in fact, was wrong. Please pardon me for the caster curse.
But that means we win the series, right?
Ooh. You know what? You make a good point. Very interesting. Very interesting. The one thing that separates this high-level CRL from, down here in the Division number 3 is, realistically, I watch gameplay like this, and I wonder where the hell any teammate is. It just feels like there's some passes and some centering balls that just no one's there for.
Hey.
And if you're Indiana Tech, that kind of's hurting you a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the play is always going to be slower compared to the top of CRL, but you are right. The connection takes a little bit longer. The brain cells aren't quite as refined, if you will. It's just one of those nuances of, the top 16 teams in the nation versus we're in this top 32 to top 50 category right now, Nutty.
Yeah, just about.
It's I mean, the speed difference is there. Mechanics maybe a little too. The overall gameplay feels the same, just not as fast. But then you look at teams like St. Clair who don't notoriously play slow, and it still looks fast. So, hey, listen, it's just a matter of connection. Speed comes from your teammates is kind of what I think you're trying to say here, Nutty, not necessarily you.
I agree. I do want to point out, this would be a very big upset. I have Indiana Tech B, ranked as the 46th best team in the nation. They cracked my top 48. Yippee, happy to hear that one.
Tech, yeah.
I've never heard of MST before tonight. So, with that being said, either I'm a casual or this is a pretty big upset looming.
I mean, if Trey has anything to say about it, we could be in for more content just like we were a series ago. Feed. We'll try and work this one back. That's a shot. Everybody was napping for a moment. It was Trey who was the only one maybe aware that was going on target. He does scramble back in time. The Warriors do look to set up shop in the O-zone here, though. Blade just trying to find some space on the other side. He does use all 100 boosts, though. That infield pass is to Feed, and now he's on the board. It's 1-0.
What even happened here from Eclipse? He's just completely out of position. He's the last man. Trey has to be able to hustle back, which he can't do because Eclipse is just... He's a 7-year-old picking sunflowers at a t-ball game. That's how I see it.
Trey is going to try and find the response. A rare miss. We haven't seen that really much from him in this series. This is another attempt from Eclipse, just not able to make much out of it. The Warriors are low on boost, though. Trey off the corner. Blade doesn't have the read, and they will find clearance for a moment. Pressure not gone, though. It is going to be Feed. Very low boost. Gets a really good 50. Trey will work it around him, but Feed makes the space for Chippy. Trey going to try and put a hand up. Drops it down to Blade. Cloud not able to make contact. Was anticipating the 50. We're not done quite yet from MST, but the attack is fading, and I think now finally gone with that touch from Feed.
It's good control here from Indiana Tech. The back pass to the main man, Mr. Chipper. Lawn chipper even. He mows grass a little bit at times. Not always in the spotlight is the metaphor I'm trying to point out for good old Chippy. And, honestly, I like that. Giving Cloud and Feed a little bit of space to work as Feed was hunting interference. Chippy maybe a 50. Can't force that one through. Blade now on the carry. What a flick it is from him. Trey unable to find the bump on the Cloud. No Psycho afforded to him. No redirect afforded to Chippy. Blade now, he has some space. Can he force this one in? Yes, he can.
It's just too low boost, not enough contact for the Warriors in the defensive end. There was the miss, as you mentioned, from Cloud on the backboard. Chippy tried to cut it off, but Feedy's just so low boost. When that comes on target, it is so tough to deal with. You got to read a double, and you got to read the shot. You got to pick one. He picked wrong. We're tied at 1.
Here's Eclipse now. Has a little bit of space. I don't believe he got that reset. Never mind, he did. No double tap afforded to him, though, so Feed going to be able to poke it away for the time being. Odd man situation here. Feed just going to try and dunk this one down. Cloud not in the greatest position. Chippy, tight angle underneath the crossbar. Mwah, with the kiss.
Well, Chippy's back on the board again. Trey was trying to get there. I didn't anticipate the shot going behind his back, though. Chippy's got a goal and an assist. It's 1-1 with 2:51 to go. We haven't seen Trey get on the scoreboard yet. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet, Nutty.
It is good. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen those videos of Calvin Johnson getting triple teamed in the red zone by the New Orleans Saints.
If you
That's
know, you
kind
know.
of how I'm. Yeah, you do know. Shout out the Detroit Lions. Love those guys. But that's exactly what it's been like for Trey. He's the oil that makes this car go fast. That car being MST, and when you got 3 members on him, there's not much space. There's not much time afforded to him. It's the good things are gonna happen. That's all I'll say.
The Warriors are going to look to expand that lead. Blade is using all of his boost for an uncontested touch. Trey just finds clearance. Cloud back on his own end, does get around Eclipse, so the Warriors will have an advantage, and an even bigger one there. Can Cloud win the 1v1? He just gets the 50. Chippy's shot is met, and this is where it gets dangerous. No Warrior with boost. Feed does rotate back in time.
Got a little bit of space too, but like you said, no boost. Unable to find that midfield boost as well, so it's left into the hands of Chippy. First touch is solid. No follow-up as Eclipse is able to poke that away, but the boost steals are coming in quick succession. That's a great shot. Is Trey able to make the save? Nope. Whip. Sink it, Chippy.
Well, we said that he got on the board with a goal and an assist. How about 2 goals and 1 assist? Cloud does pick up an apple as well. 3-1 Warriors, 97 seconds to go. And we might be staring at a best of 3 the rest of the way.
No, I'd like that. I would like that a lot. How about, instead of a best of 3, you win 3 in a row? Thoughts?
Oh, I'm down. I'm
Me
always
too.
down. Cloud is also down to find Chippy. He's going to try and return the favor back to Cloud, but the connection not quite there, although Cloud just found a whole lot of space. Bar down and out, Chippy. Another Hattie on the rebound.
I love Chippy. I love Chippy so much. Chippy is love. Chippy is life. Chippy is the hat trick hero. And Chippy is the reason Game 4 might be done and dusted. But if MST has anything to say about it, it's going to have to come rather quickly. Maybe we need another tech pause, Bub. Thoughts? Question mark?
I don't know. What I do know is that the story of the first 2 games was Chippy versus Trey. The story of the last game was secondary scoring. Outside of just those 2. MST found it in the first game. This time it was Feed getting a goal. In this game, also Chippy still putting up 3. Listen, just score more. I don't know. I have no analysis other than put up more points.
You can't do that when Chippy's on the other field. Chippy, okay, how do I put this? This is a thing at high level CRL as well. Anyone who says otherwise is lying to me. Chippy has this thing. It's an intangible, it's a feeling. He strikes fear in the opponent's eyes. They see Chippy load into that lobby. Hell, you look at Davenport the first time that Chippy played in Division 1. They were shook. They lost 3 games in a row to who? To Chippy.
They didn't
My
know what was
goodness.
going on. Shout out to Davenport, by the way. Those are my boys.
Yeah, good fellas for sure. Unfortunately, they got chipped. And speaking of
did.
getting chipped, MST 4-1 loss in game number 4 to equalize this series. And Chippy, have a day, my friend.
Yeah, he's been the story so far for the Warriors. And
Chippy.
and even big, always Chippy. There was no scoring from Trey in this game. He's still top of the leaderboard because he's just the GOAT. gets 3 saves, Eclipse with the assist and 2 saves. But look at the shot differential. There's 3 shots for MST.
Ew.
Chippy has 4. He has as many goals as they have shots.
This is just one of those moments where you go to the foot of your bed, you get on your knees, and you start praying. Because the only way you're going to beat Chippy is with the help of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You need to start praying, because Chippy... It's like a tornado warning. Just don't call. The sirens are alarming because Chippy is so large and so good at this damn video game that you can't do anything. God
Listen,
bless
he's locked.
Missouri Science and Technology. They need it for the remainder of this series.
He is locked. I think the scary thing is if we start seeing Feed and Cloud get goals here and there that lead to 2 goals, 3 goals for the Warriors. I think that's really when this goes from survivable to insurmountable, if you will, for MST. You could say the same thing about MST. If Trey starts getting more goals from the other 2 and he's still able to put up the results, he might get one right away here. He does miss, but if he starts putting up those same results, Indiana Tech are in danger as well. They will not concede here, and here comes Chippy. Again, flip reset, gonna keep it moving, gets the 50 into the corner blade. Gonna try and find some clearance. Trey in hot pursuit, no boost. Feed is the next one up. Is he gonna get a flip? Of course he is. He's gonna go for the bump as well. There's Cloud! It's 1-0!
Summon the power of the Warriors. The power of Feed. Feeding it to Cloud, who's able to put a little kiss underneath all 3 members of MST. You can't help but just feel good when you watch these fellas. Have some fun. Enjoy yourself.
Eclipse is going to try and find the answer. He does get up over the top of Chippy. That's a big save. And another one off the rebound for Feed. He's been massive here to start game number 5. And Chippy will try and find Cloud. Does he get the double? It's denied. But quick strike offense for the Warriors, keeping MST honest. And here comes Trey back the other way. That one's denied. The rebound for Blade. Chippy gets a piece and not enough. And we stand equal.
I mean, that shot was alright, I guess. There's not really special there. That's a good shot from Blade. He just couldn't get up in his time. My feelings are hurt. I feel sad. But it's okay, because there's more than 4 minutes left in this game, number 5. And off the kickoff, Chippy whiffs. That's unfortunate. Feed's got to be careful here. He is 3rd man. All jokes aside, that net not wide open as Cloud was solid on his defensive rotations, but tries to take over again. Gets the demo. Feed. That's a nice 50-50. Chippy. Maybe a drop down pass off that corner. Does he have a reset? No. Leaves it for Cloud. That ball too high. Feed waiting. He has limited boost, so he's unable to do much. Chippy puts it into some open space, and here comes MST. That's a ceiling pinch from who else but Trey, the man, the myth, the legend, Megatron. Cloud reset over 1. Gets the bump as well. No follow-up from Indiana Tech, so this offense stalls out.
Oh, that's a beautiful 50. Cloud is going to elect to take time here. He's got a man in the middle. That is Feed. This time Blade able to put a hand up, but is anyone able to on Chippy's shot? It is admittedly weak. A little bit of a muffin there from Chippy. It's okay, it happens. Cloud on the left wall looking to bring it back. That'll drop down, denied again on the backboard. But again, Feed keeping the press on. Pops it up left. No one's really there, though. That's a beautiful touch, though, from Cloud. Is Feed faster? No, but he does get a decent 50. Trey will actually get it around Chippy, and now MST springboarding back the other way. He gets around 2. Does Trey bury it? No. We are still 1-1 with about half a game to go, and Feed will make another stop on the backboard. I think
I
we
don't
might
know where
have.
my mic went.
I was gonna
Nope,
say, I
I'm
think we
right
lost
here.
Nutty.
Apparently my mic has a little bit of a illness and just doesn't want to show up. Trey's the best player to touch the game of Rocket League until he has to settle for a double tap. The first one he got
it's open.
directly. Oh my goodness. Who do you think you are? I am. Shut up, Pete Weber. Feed sinks it.
It is 2-1 Warriors, and where they were missing open nets earlier, crucially, they don't miss it.
I love Feed, man. Does he come into chat and say anything? Yeah, he literally said slot.
Hey, you told him to do it. And again, credit to Monkey Shines FTC for the content. He does provide. Blade on the backboard. I also see a lot of, it feels awfully cloudy today. I love these comms. These are great comms. Chippy, got a flip preset, by the way. Speaking of comms, Feed is going to have to defend a impending 3v1. That is no problem for Mr. Feed Me More, although Cloud is going to get called in the task. He'll do just fine. He'll try and find some clearance here. 100 seconds on the board, Nutty. Warriors up in a nail-biter so far. And this is a massive result here if they're able to come away with it.
Oh, yeah, Chippy. Oh, yeah, Cloud. Oh, yeah, baby. No follow-up from Feed. Well, there is a follow-up. No effective follow-up, might I add.
Oh, that's a...
There's a good rush there from Cloud. Tried to play that 50 quick, but now Blade, one reset. Tries to get it over Chippy, but nope, he's too large. You can't do that. That's just impossible. Eclipse, first touch is solid. Cloud, able to get that 100 boost, and he has a little bit of space to boot that ball down the pitch and kill some more time off the clock for MST.
And I'm noticing a stark difference from early in the series. We said the message was loud and clear for how MST was going to approach this series, which was just be fast, be confident, and Trey's going to score goals just by the effect of that. Here is Trey again. He will get a flip, this time not on target. Chippy's going to try and find Feed. With no boost, they combine with the power of friendship, and they'll find clearance. Make it twice, except there's not going to be a follow here. MST has been slowed down a lot the second half of this series, and the Warriors are finding more and more control out of it. At a little bit of an alarm here for MST that, again, we haven't really seen much from Trey.
Yeah, I was about to say, remember that Trey guy? It was all really fun when he had that Lin Sanity run. Shout out Jeremy Lin. But it seems gone now. Chippy's here. It's okay. LeBron, it's okay. Chippy's here. We don't need you in the NBA anymore because the greatest player of all time is awoken.
As soon as this hits the ground, there it is. Hey, that's a 3-2 series lead for the Warriors over MST. And we were talking about secondary scoring. Chippy was at the bottom of the leaderboard for the Warriors. It was feeding Cloud, putting up both goals and both assists. And 3 shots for Cloud alone. And the Warriors were outshot, by the way. I just want to point that out. They find secondary scoring. They're outshot. They stand tall in their own end. That's a 3-2 series lead. They got 2 shots to put this thing away.
You know, I feel so confident in these guys. I'm actually just sitting here playing with a Lego camera. Everyone smiles, say hi.
I wouldn't be surprised if it functions.
Honestly,
people are able to make some crazy stuff out of Legos, bro. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
Fully functioning steam engines and stuff.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm not smart in the engineering aspect. I don't even know. My PC runs wonky. I don't even know what's wrong with it. I gotta go ask some of my IT friends. You don't know why? It's not my cup of tea.
Listen,
It is what it is.
you know Mito. You've casted with Mito on some of our other broadcasts.
Correct.
Engineering major, graduated, can't read.
Wait,
Confirmed.
are you serious?
He can't read.
Wait, what?
He says so. He sees numbers and they're different. This has been an ongoing joke for a while, Nutty. He can't read. He sees things on the screen. For those breaking the fourth wall, there's a little screen here that shows everything. That probably looks really funny on camera. He swears by it. He can't read. So shout out Mito for getting a whole degree while also being literally illiterate.
Yeah, a smart person degree as well, while also being illiterate. You know what? Okay, it's time for random thoughts during Indiana Tech B Stream series with Nate and Bub. Have you ever thought about what if people are actually colorblind, but they don't know they're colorblind because while they do see the colors differently, they're so used to calling it by the color that everyone else calls it that they just never think about it. Like, what if someone sees orange and it's actually green?
Is that not how color blindness works?
Green?
I feel like the people who are colorblind know that, and they're able to just go, oh yeah, everyone else says it's green. By the way, Feed, trying to put up some green numbers here this time. Not gonna happen. You know, we'll go even deeper than that. What if colors actually just don't exist and we just see different shades of things, and we just assume that that's what it is? Because color is perception.
What? Bub,
let's go a step deeper.
My brain.
We're going down the rabbit hole, bro.
You couldn't.
Oh, I just did. By the way, We are about a minute and a half deep into this game after this rambling that's been going on. A whole lot of nothing happening. MST is trying to do something. It's not exactly working. This is going to go towards the MST net. And the Warriors are also going to try something that is also not exactly working. So Eclipse is going to come back the other way. He's going to go off the backboard. It is wide. The rebound also wide. Blade's shot is not wide. And for once, it's in the net. Indiana Tech, let's stop focusing on colors here, boys, and let's focus on putting that ball in the back of the net and keeping it out of ours.
You know, I'm not the type to trash talk the opposition, but man, I don't like these guys. I like Indiana Tech. I want to see them win. Advance with a 4-2 victory. Go on to play the winner of...
Checks notes.
MVC Esports and Akron White. Akron White's a team that I feel like I've seen ITB play a couple of times.
They just played them like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Oh, harassment on the back line, by the way. Double harassment on the back line.
It doesn't work, though. That's the thing. Maybe, though, Cloud is going to be able to get some work here. But he's in a 1v1, able to play it very well on the side of Trey. But that drop down pass into the hands of Chippy. No boost, really, for Indiana Tech. Cloud was able to gather 100, but he's too far off the ball to make anything happen. Feed calls him off. I'm not super sure what happened there. Breakaway opportunity for MST, but that one gets sent away. And if this holds, my oh my, we will go on to Champions Field, although we've already been here for 6 games.
Yes, we have. We have. But Game 7. Game 7 on Champions Field, it hits a little different. Lights are a little brighter. Colors are also a little bit more vibrant. I know, we were just talking about colors. We're also about to be talking about MST. They couldn't bury that. Blade at 2 looks.
I'm getting harassed in chat. I think the only people who should be getting harassed is MST, because, truth be told, we don't like them. They should be losing right now. It's a nice backflip from Eclipse. Good try, buddy. Here comes Feed. 50 is played into that top corner. A nice bump onto Trey. This one's really just a slow roller, though, so Cloud unable to sink it. Chippy takes over straight into the hands of Blade, and MST mounting an assault that's poked away by Cloud. Sidewall skimmer. Do it to him, my good friend. Off that back corner. Left. A nice fake from Feed. Pass to Chippy. Pop over one. Finish him!
Oh, that's disgusting. Look at that from Feed. Cerebral. His brain's just too big, and Chippy can just bury it. 1-1 with 96 seconds to go.
This is good. This is great. It's not over, though. Still a lot of time left, and with Trey on the ball, oh my goodness, you gotta have a little bit of fear if you're Indiana Tech. That's a quick shot. Gonna be off target. Follow-up from Eclipse is off as well. Feed can't make contact. Close your eyes. Hide the wife and kids.
I take it back. Feed's brain was too big. Not that time. It's 2-1 MST with just under 90 seconds. 87 seconds remaining in this game, and we need a goal.
We do, in fact, need a goal. And we might find it here off of kickoff, but no, Trey takes over. No double tap afforded to him, so Cloud's able to send it away. Now Chippy and Feed in this back left corner, unable to do too much. Chippy now, first touch is solid. Has to be able to beat the third, gets the bump onto him. Maybe a follow-up, Cloud's there, but it ricochets so far that it might even fall into the back of the net for Indiana Tech. No, somehow keeps it out. Eclipse is 50, can't find its way through. And here comes Feed. Odd number situation. He's able to beat 1. Can he beat 2? No, Trey is there. And Indiana Tech sticking around in this backfield for MST.
We are taking boost. We're trying to take out resources. They are very, very low. Cloud is going to keep control. Flip reset in hand. Going across for Feed. The bump as well. It's off the bar. Chippy with the rebound. It's off the pipe again. Feed one more try, and we're tied.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And it's going to be the man who gets fed pretty continuously. Shout out Feed's mom for giving him Panda Express money. Man, I want some Panda Express now. You want to know what else I want? A Feed game winner off the kickoff. It's going to fall into the hands of Trey. This is dangerous. Maybe a double tap lined up, but no. Cloud hustles him and is able to force that one out. Feed able to make a nice 50-50. Straight into the hands of Trey again. Quick shot. Feed pokes it away. Where's Chippy? Just behind him. No boost on the side of Indiana Tech until Feed's able to collect that 100, but gets removed immediately afterwards. 10 seconds left on this clock. That's a nice skimming touch. from Eclipse. It's leaving Cloud in a bit of an awkward position, but his first touch is solid. Second touch is even better. Maybe to Chippy for the 0-second goal. Feed shoots. It's just going to be high, and we fall to golden goal for Indiana Tech.
Well, again, credit to Monkey Shines FTC for the content, baby. Here we go. Warriors looking to put the series away. MST looking to fight for one more game, and they might find it here, but it's steered aside once more by the Warrior defense. Feed, he saw Chippy across, but so did Trey, and he's able to cut it off. Cloud to the backboard, maybe looking for a double. He'll drop it to the left side. Bumps coming through. Chippy lying in wait. Around one, steered aside by Blade. Feed keeps it in. He's got a man central. Chippy's also right underneath the ball. That's a massive pinch that finds its way out the other side. Feed's going to try and stay on this ball. Trey trying to slow it down. It is loose in midfield, and Trey will find clearance nearly on target. Chippy's got it. I guess that was a save. You know what, for Chippy, yes, it was. This will go back once more, and both teams survive for a moment. It's off the pipe, and we keep going.
No boost for Cloud. Gonna try and just drop it back down to himself, but he's unable to locate said ball. Chippy now has a little bit of space. First touch is solid. Second touch is even better, but the double does not find its way midfield. Solid touch there from Eclipse, caught by Cloud. And once again, here comes Indiana Tech. First touch is solid, able to beat one. Left into the hands of Chippy in a 1v1 situation. He's being harassed, but that's a great save there from Eclipse. Cloud unable to poke that one away from Blade. Does he have the corner read? Absolutely not. Why is your ego that high, my good friend? Cloud pops it up to himself. First touch solid, second touch better. Tries to play the 50. Pardon me, which he can do. Pardon me again. A great touch there from Blade. Feed is backwards. Please turn your car around, my friend.
Oh, there's just no one central. That was a look for MST, but they weren't quite prepared. And now the Warriors looking for an answer. Cloud to Chippy, no contact made. Nobody wants to win this game. It is Blade finding some space on the opposite side. Feed is there. Blade around him, got the boost too. And here comes MST again. He's just going to take it himself. Denied by Feed again. Chippy up the right wall. Never mind. Chippy to the graveyard. It is going to be Eclipse back the other way. Cloud puts a hand up. I don't think he's going to get another. He does eventually win that 50 on Blade. Just psyched him out enough. Trey looking back for Eclipse, but he's low boost. That one's central. Feed, it's high. Reset. Does he have the double? Bang!
Feed just peeked on the heads of MST. Reset uses it, sticks around, places it bottom, or pardon me, top left, kisses it under the crossbar. He's never doing that again. He's never doing that again in his life. That was an unbelievable shot. That was actually unreal.
Hey, listen, Feed, your mom called you out in the chat and then you showed up. Literally while playing, by the way. He did say slot after scoring a goal. So there is a dub tonight. The Warriors do take down MST, and they move on to Akron White, and what was the other school, Nutty?
MVC, I believe.
MVC, those guys, yeah. We will have that one next week. We're going to try and get that one here. These boys are kind of fun to watch, don't you say, Nutty?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
No, it's always fun. You know, I met these guys at Tri-City Slam. Just great fellas, great energy, and they bring it on the pitch as well. Especially when they have people behind them, they can get loud. And I'm sure, you know, Chippy's on the quieter side at times, but when he's invested in this game, he also gets loud with those guys. So, again, big up to Indiana Tech B, big up to MST. Great season. It's not over for them, but the road just got a lot harder. It sure did. It sure did. Losing that first life immediately is hard. Like you said, though, Nutty, this was a series where if MST does win this... Oh, I'm sorry, there is no doubly limb. That's it. It's singly limb in Division 3. So MST's season is done. My apologies, MST. I did not know ball in Division 3. That's on me. My bad, homie. Or homies, in their case. The Warriors will go on to the semifinals, rather. I'm wrong again. I can't... You know, we were just joking about Mito not being able to read. I literally can't. The website just looks funky. There is a lower bracket. There is. My bad, guys. Really? That is genuinely on me. It looks... Oh, there's a third place match. That's what it is. It looks so weird on the website. Listen, I can't read. I'm dyslexic. No, I'm kidding. I'm just a little stupid up here. That's all.
That is it for MST. Their season is done. The Warriors will move on to top 4 in Division 3. They fancy themselves as a team that maybe is a Division 2 team, not a Division 3 team. You got to win in the playoffs to prove it. They do their job here.
We could see a Division 2 for these guys next semester. I know both these squads are going to look a little bit different coming into the fall of 2026, but man, also shout out League OS. I hate to slander. Terrible website. Me and TK Bora from SEL have figured that out. Hate that website. It's okay, but we're going to use it and we're going to be happy because Indiana Tech goes home happy. Bub, you got anything else for us before we head out of here?
I don't know if we're going to get an interview based off of that series. I'm going to say no based on the fact that I haven't seen anything in the Discord quite yet. So we're going to call that wraps. We were supposed to have a broadcast tomorrow for League of Legends. News flash, Mizzou FF'd. They couldn't make it. So the Warriors League team is also on to the semifinals. W's in the chat for our League of Legends team that has been on the broadcast maybe twice this semester. We'll be back next week. We got more Valorant. We got more Rocket League. There's definitely going to be League of Legends at some point. It's playoffs. We don't miss those unless we absolutely have no other options. But for now, Nutty, unless you got anything else, I say we pack it up. We get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. We send us off in 2 great series. One a loss in 7, one a win in 6. But at the end of the day, we had fun doing it. God bless you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Go outside. It's beautiful. Don't be a stranger. And y'all take care. Good night, guys.